We do have Erik Ainge on the line.
Right.
So, Erik, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing, Erik?
I'm in Destin, Florida. About to run around in some big rubber balls in a pool somewhere.
Very cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Erik, we have Justin, Kevin, and our special guest, Keiron. We appreciate you coming on, spending a few minutes with us.
Absolutely.
Erik, definitely, I noticed when I was reading your bio, we actually share something together. We have the same birthday.
Oh, really? June 12th?
June 12th. Definitely,
nice.
It's a famous day in history. A lot of things happened that day, which is a good thing.
Look that up.
Oh, you got President Bush's birthday. That was like with Normandy. It was one of the best battles that happened that day.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's like definitely a famous day in history. Now, I got to tell you, I've been a fan of yours for years. Actually, since when Peyton Manning was in college, I watched him, and I just kept being a fan of the Volunteers after that point. And when you came along, I tell you, like I said, I was shocked when draft day came along, and where you went in the 5th round, because I thought you were a lot better than some of the other guys coming out.
Well, I feel like I was too, talent-wise and maybe on the field-wise.
Stats-wise, everything-wise.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into when in there and why you get drafted. And my off-the-field behavior when I was in Pensacola, Florida, training was not what NFL GMs want to see when they're drafting a quarterback, especially if they're going to take one high.
It just blew my mind, though.
They ask all, the guys you work out with, the trainers, all those kind of people. They get information from those guys, and I didn't represent myself very well at that point in time.
Well, I mean, you definitely were young at the time. I mean, it's maturity goes with everything, as far as that goes. No, I was looking the stats up. I mean, when the draft happened, and I'm looking, like I said, there's some of the guys that went ahead of you. I was just like. It just blew my mind as far as that went. Then Brian Brom, Chad Henne, Kevin O'Connell, who was with the Pats and the Jets. I was just blew my mind as far as that went, because I always thought you were so much better and should have been a solid pro.
Yeah, things could have gone a little bit different. As far as the football part goes, I thought I was always knew how to do that. It was the other stuff that got me into trouble a little bit.
Now, I got to ask you, the draft class you were in was the last for Coach Eric Mangini, an end of an era. So, my question is, so when Rex Ryan took over, did you feel like you became one of Rex's guys, or you were still part of the old Mangini regime as far as just, the way you acted, especially when he brings in his own quarterback?
No, I was definitely one of Rex's guys. He was always real nice to me, real cool to me. Really, all the coaches and Tannenbaum and Woody, all those guys were always so cool and so good to me. They really liked me. They kept me an entire year last year when I wasn't even there. They could have cut me the day I didn't show up for training camp, and I wasn't there the entire season, and they kept me on the team. So it says a lot about what they thought of me and what they still think of me. But obviously that's just not the path that my body can take right now.
Okay, now just based on being with Mangini and then being with Rex, what do you think the difference is between the success that Rex had here and the Mangini didn't? Was it? We all know as far as in New York that with Mangini with a personality, we never saw one, and Rex, he seems like the life of the party.
Yeah, he is. Mangini's a real serious guy, real business oriented, and he doesn't really have the what am I trying to say? He doesn't really have the personality that Rex does. And I don't mean to say that Rex has the personality, but not the X's and O's and the business attitude. Obviously, Rex, when he was at Baltimore, was the best D coordinator in the league.
That's true.
And so, he obviously has that. He just, he's kind of like a total package kind of guy. You know what I mean? He has everything. He says the right thing at all times with the team. He, messes around with the media and fans, and he's a player's coach. When he steps in front of you, you want to give everything you got for Rex, and that's probably his best attribute.
Yeah, he definitely comes off that way. That you would die for the guy. It's just the way he seems, just watching from the outside. The last question I want to ask is, with last year's playoff run. Now, my only question is, Rex, what he did to me was great. He got the team fired up. He went after every other team, saying this, saying that. And then when it came to Pittsburgh, it was nothing. And then all of a sudden, the guys came out flat in the first half, and then he picked it up in the second half. But I was just, it's like one of those things. Any idea why he just didn't do what he was doing for the beginning of the playoff run?
I don't really know. From Steve Weatherford is one of my best buds, and and I was talking to him a lot through that, and maybe it might have been a little bit different. There's always a method to Rex's madness. He never just does anything. As far as coaching and stuff like that goes, he never does anything on accident or just by chance. Like everything he does, he has a specific reason for doing it. And it doesn't always come off like, people don't always agree with it. Sometimes they think it might not have been the best choice, but it's the choice that he makes as the head coach, and there's always a method to his madness. And the players really like that, and they respond to that. I wasn't in the locker room to hear what exactly he said, but, Dustin Keller, Weatherford, Marty, all those guys, Braylon, all those guys that I still keep in contact with, they were ready to play the game. I know that for sure.
I know. It just struck us as funny because you remember a couple days before the game we're thinking, he really didn't do what he did for the last couple of games, say something about the Steelers, and all of a sudden the game goes on and it was just, flat for the first half. We were just like, wow, what happened? That's my only reason for asking it.
So, Eric.
Yeah, it's a little funny.
Yeah. So, Eric, did you follow along with everything that was going on with the NFL lockout? Were you kind of tuned into what was going on?
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
I'm sorry. With the NFL lockout, were you kind of tuned into what was going on, and did you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I always thought that it would be over either right at training camp or just a little bit into training camp. Once a common misperception with NFL players is fans and a lot of people think that everyone is rich. But a lot of us, only about 10 or 15% of the league is what you would call rich. Everyone else makes good money, but they need every single check they get.
Correct.
To compensate for the lifestyle that they live. And so when you start getting into training camp and you miss a few practices and then a preseason game or two goes by and you're missing out on quite a few $1,000s, and a lot of the guys I feel like would start breaking down at that point and saying we need to get this done. And fortunately it got done before that, and no one has to miss anything. I definitely think it'll have an effect on the season. The teams with the really good quarterbacks and the really good leadership, they've been doing everything. It won't be much different for them. But teams with young quarterbacks or rookie quarterbacks that they expect to start, that are just now, obviously everyone probably got all the information.
Right. As well as new coaching
you don't
staffs.
have someone teaching it to you. It's just it's like studying a textbook. You don't know what you're reading. So it could affect some teams.
Yeah, so true.
For sure. No OTAs hurts young teams.
So true. So now today, tell me what you got going on today. How are you making the transition?
I'm actually doing really well. I'm living down in Knoxville. I've been clean and sober for over a year now. I'm actually on family vacation with my girlfriend and her family right now, and things are going really well for me.
Well,
so it's exciting.
Well, I am very happy for you in that respect, and I really appreciate, and we all really appreciate you taking out a couple of minutes, especially away from the girlfriend and the family. And just know that the three of us up here, we're rooting very, very hard for you, and we're happy to hear that you're doing well, and much continued success to you. And we'll see you in the future.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks
for being on.
Thanks, Eric.